Phoenix, Arizona, yet another person has been deported.
I usually end up writing down some information about different families that are here.
And immigration rights activist Lydia Guzman is on a fact-finding mission.
¿Y cuánto tiempo tiene que no ve a su esposo?
Tengo aproximadamente como 8 meses de no verlo a mi esposo.
The woman, Chayo, says her husband was pulled over by police for a minor traffic violation. When he didn't have the proper ID, he was arrested and deported.
Que la renta es muy cara, la renta no me espera, mis biles no me espera.
A lot of the breadwinners in these families, and a lot of these families are gone.
Vendo desde las 6 de la mañana hasta las 7 de la noche.
They've been picked up, they've been deported.
Like Chayo, most people selling here every weekend are women trying to support families by selling off their possessions.
Porque esto es muy difícil.
She's so traumatized still and affected by this, she can't help but to start crying.
Lydia says Chayo's situation is a sadly familiar one these days in Phoenix and across Arizona.
People are afraid of being arrested and detained just for driving to the grocery store and having a police officer allege that you have a broken taillight. You know, that's a pretty scary thought. A normal trip to a grocery store should not have to be a life or death decision sometimes, and to some of these families, that's what it feels like.
And you can see just how tense everyday life can get with the sudden appearance of 2 squad cars.
It seems like they block the streets, almost like a checkpoint style block. I'm not sure if maybe they're going to plan some sort of something here in this community. I put it on my Twitter. There's a lot of folks that follow me on Twitter.
The constant business raids, the traffic stops, they're all part of a get tough on immigration tactic called attrition through enforcement. The idea is to make life so difficult for undocumented families that they move away or return to Mexico.
Good morning.
And for some, it's a winning strategy.
We don't usually get our money from the state legislature, but since we've done a great job, they give us almost $2 million.
Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio, whose jurisdiction covers a sprawling area, including Phoenix, has been leading the charge on tough immigration enforcement.
When we take people out of the workplace that are here illegally, that opens up positions for those that need a job, since the unemployment is like 10%.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, 100,000 illegal aliens have fled Arizona in the past 2 years. And the Sheriff's Department operations, including this tent city prison to process illegals, help add to the numbers daily. But Phoenix Mayor Phil Gordon says Arpaio's aggressive tactics aren't much of a help. In fact, they're making things worse.
It starts to multiply in all areas. It starts to affect the economy because so many people have been terrified that they have no other choice but to go to another state.
Any shopping center will tell you that their sales go down. They have to sometimes close down their restaurants, or sometimes it's the local 99-cent store that they have to close down because no one's going into their stores to go shopping. Arpaio did one of his worksite raids here in this landscaping company, and it was early in the morning, and folks ran out. They ran out. It looks like the landscaping company might even already be shut down. Oh, that's so sad.
In 2008, Mayor Gordon said he'd had enough of Arpaio's tough enforcement, and he filed a complaint with the Department of Justice.
I was 3 years ago the only one certainly elected, standing up and calling him for what it was, which was a bully and breaking laws and civil rights and targeting people.
The so-called racial profile. They've been investigating me for 2 years. You do know I go out every week or every day and arrest illegal immigrants, so that's not deterring me from doing my job.
Arpaio and his deputies are under investigation by the Department of Justice for racial profiling. The sheriff denies any wrongdoing, and he dismisses the accusations as political.
When I come into Phoenix to arrest anybody that violates the law, including illegal immigration, when we raid private businesses in his city, maybe he doesn't like it, but I think he should give me an award.
But despite his critics, voters have awarded Arpaio with 5 re-elections as sheriff. And like this unemployed construction worker, Many feel the discrimination cuts both ways.
Anytime that somebody's going to be picked on like that, they're going to claim discrimination. But actually, it's discrimination against us because they're taking our jobs away, lowering our wages because they're working for lesser wages.
But for Lydia Guzman, attrition through enforcement continues to victimize the most vulnerable.
Oh, lo quiere mandar a Ciudad Juárez. Oh my goodness. Wow. You know what Ciudad Juárez is?
Yes, I've heard of it and I see everything on the news.
This little girl's mom is being sent to Juárez. Juárez has seen over 3,000 murders in this past year. That's about 8 a day.
I'm really terrified. Like, I've never, ever, ever been so scared before. And knowing that I'm forced to actually go.
Oh, things are going to get better, okay? Your mom's going to be looking at a really good lawyer. She has an appointment with a really great lawyer. I think the federal government is really liking the fact that people like Sheriff Joe are enforcing the immigration laws because it keeps their hands clean. They don't have to be the boogeyman. The boogeyman is someone else.
And that's one thing Lydia, the sheriff, and the mayor can agree on. They say the federal government's lack of leadership here has frustrated just about everyone.
They should welcome law enforcement to help them. They should switch their tack and say, thank you, we want more law enforcement to enforce the illegal immigration laws in the United States.
For Time Video, this is Jim Fields.